Oh wow, good evening. Good evening. It's another Tuesday, and it's an evening with the mental catalyst. I hope everybody watching is doing good and well, and I appreciate you being here this evening. So, last week was entitled The Sexiness of Failure, and I must admit, it was an interesting one. First of all, the title got a lot of people's interest and curiosity, but what was most important out of that was the feedback I got after the session. And I've gotten feedback in a way that it's really humbled me. It's touched me to the core because people that have not heard from me in, God knows how long, reached out and shared their feedback and what TMC is doing for them. And I am truly humbled. So for those who have reached out directly, thank you. Thank you. And I'm also happy to know that some of you are already sharing the lessons and the wisdom with your teams. And for me, this is God's work. And I'm happy that not only am I doing it, but we're doing it together. So for those who have reached out to me, God bless you all and thank you so much. TMC is basically about, look, we being successful in life and having a fulfilling life. And this series, these sessions are aimed towards, look, helping us all figure out what this thing called life is about and how we live it and how we learn and how we grow and how we impact those around us and the world at large. So last week's title was pretty interesting because failure is something that people, our societies shy upon. Nobody likes to talk about failure. Nobody embraces failure. And because we shy away from it and we don't talk about it, we are not able to leverage it to succeed in terms of whatever goals and ambitions we have. So I talked about why it's necessary for us to fail, okay? Because failure is part of it's part of the process towards success. Winston Churchill will say, success is moving from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. And when you look at all the great people who have succeeded and done things in this world, and you dig deep into their histories, you're going to realize that, look, they've had massive failures. So last week we talked about why it's part of the process, and secondly, if you fail, what are some of the things you can do to get up? Okay, so it's not about getting down, but it's about getting up. So today's is a continuation, and this series, this special block of series, we're calling them the Sexy series, and it's all about making us exciting and very attractive, right? So today's title is Sexiness of Obsession. When you hear the word obsession, most times it connotes negativity. That's like too much of everything, right? Which is not good, okay? Now I'm here to tell you today that being obsessed, an obsession, is a good thing if it's for the right and worthwhile cause. And we cannot truly succeed if we are not obsessed. And I'm going to tell you why it's important for us to be obsessed. I'm going to use some life events from my personal life to illustrate why it's important to be obsessed and what actions there are for one to take to succeed, and then wrap it up. So what is obsession really? What's obsession? Something or someone that you think about all the time. Something or someone that you think about all the time. Keywords are you think about all the time. So it could be someone or it could be something that you think about all the time. So in this context, we are referring to our goals. The goals that we all set individually, whether they are, financial goals, professional goals, business goals, spiritual goals, right? Health related goals. So what we are talking about here is these goals that are part of what we seek to do on a daily basis or we pursue on a daily basis, we need to be obsessed about them. And what that means is we need to think about these goals all the time. Now, why is obsession critical? And one of the key tools inside the tool sets that we've been talking about till today. Now, let me use my own personal experiences. And I always go back to my first major challenge when I didn't do well with my O levels. Now, here's the thing, my brothers and sisters. To succeed in life, there's one first thing you ought to always do. Take responsibility. Today, most of us are always shifting blame. Take responsibility. So now, how did I take responsibility when I did not do well in my O level? I didn't blame the teachers. I didn't blame my parents. I didn't blame, my friends. I didn't blame demons and principals and principalities. I didn't blame any witches from my village. I blamed myself and I took responsibility. That's the first step towards success. Take responsibility. Now, when I took responsibility, the next thing to do was to set my goal, my target. My goal and my target was what? I am going to do so well that I'll be able to go to sixth form. So that was the goal and that was the target. Now, setting a goal and a target is not all in itself. That's not it. You need to also now back it up with what? Massive action. Now, what did I do? I realized that, look, for me to be able to succeed and achieve this goal that I have set for myself and move on in life, I had to do what? Now, come up with a plan. Stop doing a lot of things that were not profitable. They have a good return on investment. And all I had to do was focus on studying. So morning, afternoon, evening, I studied for basically a year and retook the exam and then passed. Not only passed, but I got distinction. So I super excelled. So how did that happen? It happened because I was obsessed with the goal of succeeding and moving on to the next level in life. So when you're obsessed with your goal and ambition and you back it up with effort, trust me, to a large extent, you're going to make it. Now, the second life event I want to use as an example is when I started working with one of the top consulting firms in the world, Booz Allen. And I'm working with like top serious consultants. These guys speak like amazing English. They type super fast. I mean, look, it's like a total package. And I always used to feel inferior. So as a consultant, you go in there, you're consulting, for different companies. And then, you need to be able to write reports. You need to be able to type. And people are watching and stuff like that. And at that time, we're doing A1 and B1, looking at the keyboard and typing here. But as a professional, you want to, exude confidence and professionalism and smart and all of that. You can't be looking at the keyboard to be typing. So I realized that, look, if I wanted to succeed, I had to fix that problem. So what I did was I got, Mavis Beacon installed on my laptop, which is, a typing tutorial type software. And every evening after work, I will type. I will learn to type for 45 minutes every evening for 1 month. When I finished, my brothers and sisters, I was able to type more than 40 words per minute and more with high accuracy. Now, I was also what? Guess what? I took responsibility in that instance, in that case. Plus, I set my target. Plus, I backed it up with what? Action. So I was obsessed with that worthwhile cause of succeeding at being able to type and exhibit professionalism and dazzle people. So those are two instances I have given. Okay? So one, responsibility. Take it. Take it. We are always quick to defer and blame others. You cannot succeed when you do that. Let me give you an example here. Now, if you live in the US or you live in Ghana and you're at home and your power goes out, so if Dominion Power provides your electricity in America and in Ghana, ECG provides, and your power goes off, the first thing we do is we blame the power company. Am I right or wrong? But what I'm saying is, do not blame the power company. Blame yourself for the power going off. Now, when you blame yourself, the next thing is, what can you do about it? I have to get a generator. So you've taken action. Now you have a generator. Good for you. The next thing is make sure there's fuel so that when the power goes out and you turn on your generator, you have fuel. But you are able to do this because you took responsibility. You did not blame the power company. Let me give you another example. And all of these are important when it comes to being able to explain what obsession really means and how powerful it is. Now you're going to a meeting, you're attending a meeting, a very important meeting, and you get the 30 minutes late. And when they ask you, oh, why were you late? Or you decide to explain why you were late. Oh, you say that what? Oh, it was traffic. Really? You were not late because of traffic? When you take responsibility, you are not going to say that, look, you were late because you didn't leave home early enough to get there on time. But when you blame it on traffic, you've not taken responsibility. And this is where most of us get it wrong in life. So first of all, no matter what it is, work, church, business, whatever you're doing, take responsibility and figure out, how do I solve it? How do I succeed in whatever it is? Okay? Now, there are 4 types of action that people take. 1, they do nothing. So somebody comes up with some goal. Okay, I think I'm alive, so I need to have a goal. I have to have ambition, so I have it. But they take no action to pursue their dream and their goal. They take no action. Now, when you are in that category, you and I know that you ain't going nowhere. You're not going anywhere. The second category are a set of people who say, oh, okay, I have my goal. I'm going to try. And they try and they fail and then they retreat. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So as much as we can applaud them for trying, when you retreat because you've hit a challenge, a roadblock, an obstacle, or whatever it is, you've tried, but you've not really done much. Okay? So they do nothing people, they retreat folks. Then the third type is where the masses are, which is basically the middle class. They do average stuff. They put in average effort. So you go to work, you do your 8 to 5. They pay at the end of the month. That's it. You go to church, you do your little thing. That's it. You're a businessman, you do your business once more. That's it. So we do average things. Now let me give you some statistics here. The average working American works 37.5 hours a week. 37.5 hours a week. The very successful people double that and more. Elon Musk, my brother, used to work 100 hours a week. Bill Gates, at the point of starting Microsoft, can work 3 days non-stop and sleep under his desk. Now, these successful people are obsessed with what? The dreams and goals they have. And not only that, they back it up with action. So now, if you have, for example, an average middle-class person who is putting in 37.5 a week, and you have someone who is hungry, serious, and committed, and dedicated, and on fire, doing 100 hours, how are you going to compete? 2, the average American reads less than a book a year. A typical successful business person, CEO in America, reads 60 books in a year. 60 books in a year. Now, when you are reading less than a book in a year, against somebody who's reading 60 books, how are you going to compete? And you don't understand why they are successful and they are making all the money. Now, this middle average normal effort group is where most people are. And that is where the danger is. Now, this is why it is dangerous to be in that middle class, lower and upper. Okay? Now, you go in there, you do your normal stuff, you get your little money and stuff like that, and you start saving towards your retirement. Now, when you're in that middle class, you're basically living paycheck to paycheck, or you are a paycheck away from being homeless. Okay? Now, when you're in that category, what can happen is that anytime there's an event, there's an economic downturn, okay? There is some, contraction in the economy somewhere. People are laying off and things like that. You realize that you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Now, as you also age, some people will save towards retirement and pensions and things like that. When you don't really put in a lot of action and create a lot of wealth for yourself, like crazy wealth for yourself, and you just do the normal stuff, one, as you go in retirement, you're going to live on your little whatever it is. You could have life events whereby you're falling sick, the little savings you have to use it for some serious surgeries, medical stuff. Your kids maybe, they're not doing well, you have to go take care of them. You have other relatives you have to go take care of. And if you're not lucky and you live up to 85, 90 and all of those things, you realize that you don't really have money. So look back at our own parents, look at our grandparents and all of that. Look at society around us largely. Majority of the middle class have these challenges. So the essence of this session is this. One, we need to set big, humongous, crazy, insane goals and put in massive efforts to go after these goals. We need to be obsessed. We need to be thinking about these things 24/7 every minute. Be it you want to be an amazing lover. You want to be sexy. Yeah? You want to be sexy. Set the goal of being the best lover in the world and dazzle your partner by being what? Obsessed. You want to be the best employee at work. You want to set that goal of, you know what, I want to help my company be the number one in the market, not just locally, but not just regionally, but in the entire world. And I'm going to contribute XYZ continuously towards it. And give your all. If you're a business person, don't make money just for, your little environment. No. Today, almost everywhere in the world, you walk a few kilometers, you can get a bottle of Coke. Yet Coca-Cola has not stopped marketing. Why put artificial barriers to your success? And this is what we do. We get content when we start making little money and stuff like that. The reason why this is important is you cannot stop. There's no end in sight. You cannot rest. The successful people are obsessed with their dreams and ambitions. Elon Musk has it all. But he still works as if he has nothing because he's obsessed. Google is in the business of organizing the world's information. And they have a lot. But Google has not stopped. They are still working at it. So why be ordinary? Why be average? Do average stuff when in the end it's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve you. So that middle class, where most people, if you're watching me, that's where I am, that's where you are. Yeah? We don't have to be there. We need to move to the fourth category, which is where massive action is taken. And massive action taking backed by big dreams. Because guess what? If you find yourself in that fourth category, where now you're putting massive action and you are not stopping, you are making money, continue making money. Now, when you are making money, no matter what life event comes, the market contracts or whatever it is, you have abundance. You have so much money that, look, nothing's really going to happen to you. You'll survive it. That is how the rich gets richer, and that is how they survive, economic downturns and things like that. So don't find comfort in being in that middle class, whether it's lower middle class or upper middle class. You need to be in the fourth category. And that starts with what? You being ambitious, setting big goals, and backing it up with what? Massive effort. And what do I mean by massive effort? If you want to walk 1,000 steps a day, do it 10x. So there's something called a 10x rule. Do 10,000. If your target at work is to call, if you're a salesperson and you have to call 5 people every day, call 50 people every day. Guess what? Your chances of success calling 50 people a day against 5, it's clear. So don't be average, don't be mediocre, don't do the average things. So set goals that you are passionate about. Okay? Now, what are some of the things you can do when you're obsessed? Have a can-do attitude. Oh, we can do it. Let's make it happen. Let's work at it. Okay? Positivity. I can do it. It's not about excuses. The first thing we always do is why it will not work or we procrastinate. No. You need to have a can-do attitude. That is the attitude of winners. And if you're watching me, you have no choice but to win. Believe that I will figure it out. Look, 31st last year, I said to myself, I wanted to do something different with my life. So I said, hey, look, I'm going to share my life story and I'm going to encourage people. I'm going to learn with people and stuff like that. So I came up with a TMC. I had no idea what it's going to be, what form it's going to take, how the titles are going to come up and stuff like that. But I believed and I knew that I'll figure it out as time went by. And today we have done 8 months of TMC. Focus on opportunity. When there are challenges and there are problems, embrace them. Because when there are challenges and problems, there are opportunities you can take advantage of. Don't shy away from them. Embrace them. Embrace them and then deal. Love challenges. Okay? Don't always pick the comfy, cool things. No, love challenges. Set the bar higher every time. Every time, every time. If you're watching me, there are people I expect them to be CEOs of banks. There are people I expect them to have PhDs. There are people that I expect them to have the finest gardens. Okay? The expectation that I have of some people that are very special to me if you're watching this. Okay? Seek to solve problems. Always be looking to solve problems. Oh, Charlie, what's going on? Can I help? Be part of it. Because through that process, you're also learning. You're developing your character. You're becoming attractive in the process. Okay? Persist until successful. Persist. Be relentless. Keep on going no matter the odds. Because what? The good Lord that created you has given you that ability to persist and be relentless. Why be average? Yes, there are times when you have to retreat. But when you retreat, quickly come back. Don't stay down. Keep going. You're trying to get your PhD. Charlie, times are hard. You can't find money. If you have to take a semester off, take it off. Regroup. Come back. You want to be a CEO of a bank. Wait for opportunity. If it doesn't come, keep waiting. Keep working towards it. In God's own appointed time, it will come and you'll get it. If you're planting, for those who are into gardens, yeah, Esther, my sister, and flower snails, yeah. If you're into gardens, when you plant and your seedlings don't germinate and they don't bear fruit or they don't grow and they die or whatever it is, you don't stop. You keep at it, right? Because you're passionate about it. So be persistent. Focus on now. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Focus on now. If you wake up in the morning, what is my goal for today? Focus on today's goal and go after it. Tomorrow will take care of itself, because if you focus on today, you handle today, tomorrow will come, you focus on it, and you keep going. Okay? So focus on now. Now, here's another thing also. Fear holds us back. Now, anytime you feel fear, it's an indicator for you to take action. Anytime you feel fear, it means take action. When you don't take action and you delay, anxiety sets in and you are feeding fear and it defeats you. And my brothers and sisters, these things I'm sharing with you, I have been practicing them. And I can tell you, it works. Go all the way. Don't do things half-half. Go all the way. Okay? In is it poker or no? Is it poker? Yes. Where you have all the chips, you put it in and you go and you take the risk. Go all the way. If it doesn't work, you learn. At least you tried. Commit first and figure out later. Like I said, TMC. I committed to it. I put it out there on my wall. That is what we are going to do. For the next 20 years, we'll have TMC on every Tuesday. Yeah. But I didn't know how. And it's not been easy, because there are days when I didn't want to do this, but I had to. So commit and then go after it. Be dedicated to continuous learning. And this is where a lot of us fall short. Be dedicated to continuous learning. Reading. Refresher courses. Toastmasters. Continuously, just keep going. Learning. Feeding. Sharpening your tools. Reach up in relationships. Here's the thing. And this is very interesting. Reach up means that always look out for people who are above you, who are more successful than you, smarter than you, and level up. Don't level horizontal or down. Yes, you can learn from people on the lateral level, that is horizontal. You can also learn from people down. But focus on those above you, because they know things that you don't know. They have experiences that you don't have, and you can learn so much from. So always reach up in relationships. And lastly, always be in the state of just comfort. Be uncomfortable. Now, if you are cooking beans, I use beans because I don't know how to cook, but I know that beans takes a long time to cook. And it's on a pot, and you're using firewood. Your end goal is for the beans to be cooked so that it can be eaten or served. Now, as the firewood you put in burns, you put in more firewood. You put in more firewood, isn't it? Now, what it means is that when you have your goals, You have to continually what? Be feeding it with action. Now, with all the series and the things we've spoken about so far, I've talked about being focused, the power of positive thinking, leveraging emotional intelligence. I've talked about failure, okay, why it's positive, why we should embrace it, and why we should leverage it. Today it's about what? It's about obsession. Now, all of these tools, when you put them together, and you have a big goal, and you are putting the effort, the massive effort, there is no way you can succeed. The reason I'm passionate about it is when I practiced some of that in my life, I was not consistent. So after I passed my O level, I didn't continue with that same vim and motivation that I had. After I did my Mavis Bacon, I didn't continue. But the successful people don't stop. So do not stop. Don't get comfortable. Don't settle. Keep going. And if you have so much, use it for humanity. So if you're watching me today, my brothers and sisters, it's okay to fail. It's okay to be obsessed. But keep in mind that, look, the power is in your hands. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this session has also been empowering us, the others. I'm open to a lot of feedback. And for those who have been watching, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Take care, and I love you guys. Bye-bye.